Good morning, AML members. Earlier this year, we had launched a series of Zoom recordings we called Municipal Mondays. Now that we're moving into the rest of the year, I want to take just a minute of your time, and a municipal minute really lasts a lot longer, so we'll see how well I do with keeping to that time frame. And I want to respond and make sure that local governments in Alaska, that our Alaska communities understand exactly what occurred with the governor's vetoes. And the governor's justification of many of these vetoes that impact local governments, our cities and boroughs, all communities, our residents, businesses, nonprofits, the university, our healthcare system, and so many state services and programs. One of the justifications that the governor used is that many of these received federal funds over these last few years and will over the next couple. And I want to be crystal clear, which I think are very near words that the governor used in his explanation, but that's not the case. And we should make no mistake that the federal funding that came to local governments, to businesses, to individuals, to tribes, to school districts, and the university was meant for very specific purposes in response to a global pandemic, a public health emergency in Alaska. And it was their response in cooperation with the state and at the direction of the governor that spent those funds on the public health and welfare of Alaskans. Those funds came with federal restrictions, which meant that they weren't able to be used to cover the governor's vetoes last year. They're not going to be able to be used for the governor's vetoes this year. And fundamentally, they are not there to address the crisis created by the governor's vetoes or an unfunded state budget. Federal relief is meant as such, as relief for communities and for Alaskans and for businesses to bounce back from an economic crisis that has been unprecedented and that is ongoing. The governor's vetoes and the state of the state's fiscal condition continue to threaten the viability of our communities and place a burden on all of us, on all local governments, on all Alaskans to do the things that the state at this point isn't able or unwilling to do. And that should concern us all. I hope that in August, or as soon as, or whenever the legislature can come back together and work together to address these, that we can come out of that with solutions that work for Alaskans and create a future for Alaska that we can point to and be proud of, and that's not based on cutting the state's budget that will directly impact so many of us.